Welcome, everyone. I am Chris Gore, and this is Film Threat on a Friday. Today on the show, we're talking about Inside Out 2, Pixar's movie. Will Disney make a comeback? Plus, a lot of independent films have opened in theaters this weekend. Yes, there are other choices rather than the big studios. So Alan is here, waiting in the wings. Where is Alan? Let's get things started. Come on, man. Let's go. It's Friday. Oh, God, man. The power of one. The power of two. The power of many. The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
No other collection gives you the feeling of pure moods.
That's not what
I wish everyone to have a very moist day.
No.
Alan.
You're finally gonna kill that line?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
We have gone to hell.
Oh,
and then
my
you
God.
say Alan is in the wings, but where is Alan? It's like saying the Jedi have the right to test these children with your consent, of course.
What is that? Oh my God. Dude, I feel so vindicated now. When I was warning people about episode 3 of The Acolyte, you warned me first. You texted me. You said Star Wars is dead. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and then when everyone started doing videos just on my tweets, I'm like, am I overselling this at all? Am I gonna, when it finally comes out, are people gonna not hate it as much as I do?
No, in fact, Gary told me he thinks you undersold it. We both of us undersold it. And we show up in his latest video about The Acolyte, which has like 1 million views now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well,
but
I'm glad we could get him 1 million views.
But it is like therapy, like looking at other people like, oh, I'm not crazy. Other people agree with me. Even Jeremy Johns posted a video and he was like, I gotta tell you, this is crap, Well, he did it in his own way, but
wasn't it Forbes also that went after it? Or
Forbes, some mainstream outlets are finally kind of breaking and saying, this new Star Wars stuff is kind of BS. So
I'll say this: Forbes. I've been reading and watching Forbes lately. They're pretty based nowadays.
They seem to be.
Yeah, very balanced.
Yeah. But let's see who's here, who is in the comments. Let's go. We have new members. Jackie Moon 94. Thank you. YouTube user became a member, which is pretty cool. Plus Professor Extreme. Check out the tab. There's a community tab for members only, and we do members only videos. So a couple super chats here. Alan, if you would.
Yes, excuse me. Sorry. James Rishuti for 1999. I butchered that name. Master Gore, Master Ing, fight me with all your strength. I've already challenged Master Dante. I only have Master Polly to challenge now. Seriously, did a 9-year-old write this dialogue? It is so bad.
It's really bad. Thank you, James, for your very generous super chat, and I appreciate you. James and we message every once in a while. I'll say the dialogue between the twins when they're young in episode 3 is terrible. I want to be a Jedi. Why? You don't want to do the Ascension? I don't want to do the Ascension. I don't want to be a witch. What? Who wrote this? It's like a children's book.
I want spice cream.
Spice cream. It's so bad. Az thought it was space cream, which would be equally bad.
I'll say that. I at first I thought I heard space cream.
Yeah,
And
a lot of us did. So, awful. All right, let's go through and get this. Couple more here. Thank you, James.
From Pilgrim Media for 2. Thank you so much. Wait, Grace Randolph isn't always right.
I watch Grace Randolph because I want to know what normal people think. I want to know what she thinks. I do watch her on occasion. So there you go.
I don't think she's a shill. I'll say that. I just think she has bad takes.
That's true. She's not a shill. She just has terrible taste, but whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. And she's drunk the Kool-Aid. Okay, from Jethro Maddox for 5. Jeffro Maddox for 5. Watch Garfield. Chris Pratt should have been John, and Nick Offerman should have been Garfield. Oh, and the entire press tour should have been him being a grump ass.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Like Garfield, like I always imagine him just being grumpy and angry. That would have been Nick. Oh, that would have been perfect.
That would have been perfect. Yeah.
And we appreciate Mexican Iron Man is such a cool dude. We have hung out. Hit me up, Mike, when you're in town. Go ahead, Alan. Read this.
Yeah.
From
member for 22 months. Wow, Mexican Iron Man. Membership has its privileges. Join today. Discord, special channel content, exclusives. Join now.
Yes, and check. We're giving away tickets to a movie that is playing. It's called Daddy-O with Sean Penn and Dakota Johnson. You have tickets. There's a link to get tickets for New York and LA screenings. So we try to do that. And Mexican Iron Man also came in with 5 gifted Film Threat memberships. New members, check out our exclusives. So here you go.
Yeah, and then from Goober, a member for 18 months. Thank you for the support. How about a top 5 for the first half of the year?
I don't think I have a top 5. Honestly, Goober, great idea. I don't think I have a top 5. Maybe in a month or so, there's a few more movies, and I saw one today I can't wait to talk about. It's not Inside Out 2, but we'll get to it. A few more here. Let's go through. Thank you, Goober.
Yes. Let's see. Suns and Shadows, hashtag Force Fisting Friday. Thanks, Suns and Shadows, for that one.
Ooh.
And he also asked, Chris, any new NECA figures show up at your P.O. box?
I haven't checked it. I will check it next week. Thank you for that. That's great. That's from, awesome. Thank you, Suns and Shadows.
Sorry, my daughter is taking offense at the last one. It's from episode 3, so just so you know.
The name?
Yeah. Amanda Nowicki, is Inside Out an emotional support film?
We will tell you about it. We'll tell you about it.
Yeah. Okay. Andrew Cram, I will watch this episode because I support what Chris and Alan promote, which is creative writing, art, and good storytelling in film. But I'm checked out of Disney because of their history.
I would agree with that. I'm with you there. So there you go. A few more here, and I have a treat for you. It's Friday. I have a special treat for everyone right at the top of the show. Go for it, Alan.
All right, Josh Allen, 100. Great name, wrong spelling. I want a Jar Jar Binks series where Jar Jar teaches young Anakin to twerk. Just like that episode of She-Hulk, where She-Hulk starts twerking with that rapper, Megan Thee Stallion, joins in on her twerking.
Well, it may or may not happen. A few more last-minute super chats, and then you're going to get a treat. You've all been good. You're getting a treat. I can't wait.
We're getting spice cream? I'm going to have 4.
Something better. I don't know if I'll have 4 or 5 spice cream. How many spice creams are you going to have, Alan? Oh my God. A 4-year-old wrote that script. Jeez. All right.
From Oliver Lovery for 10 pounds. Just finished my new short. So it's good to have you guys keep company as I prepare to make my donation to a lot of film festivals and then premiere it on YouTube 2 years later.
Well, send it to Film Threat. Go to filmthreat.com, click on submit. You can send it to us when you're ready for a review. I would not recommend you send it to us first. I recommend you do film festivals, then Film Threat for review. That's
I should mention on the Film Threat interview channel, I do an interview with the filmmakers of Room Taken, which is a short film from Ireland. And we do talk about their kind of film festival journey. So you might want to check that one out when it comes out in the next few days.
Right. And just a reminder, you have a Film Threat interviews channel. So keep going, Alan. We're almost done.
Yes.
And we're gonna get
Chris, member for 3 months. Chris, this is off topic, but feel free to fill out that survey I forwarded to you from the Academy of Arts and Science.
Oh, I have that. We're gonna do a segment on that. But yeah. So check it out. Film Threat right here. Subscribe to our trailers channel, which I'm going to show you some trailers from that channel. You're going to dig it. And our interviews channel. Every week we add new interviews with filmmakers, short filmmakers, all kinds of peeps. Look, Uwe Boll is there. Uwe Boll. Come on. You got to check that out. Thank you, Krizik. Yes, I did get your email, and we're going to do something on it. Thank you. Go ahead.
From Wrath X7 for 5. Thank you. Instead of trying to turn Star Wars into a girls' brand, Disney should promote Renegade Nell. It's an awesome show and features flawed female heroes.
Yeah, they sent me a screener for that. They sent me a screener for that. I just assumed it was like girl boss garbage. I didn't watch it.
That's a Disney show, you're saying?
Yes. Okay. On Disney Plus, it's like an action show with a female star, and I just said, nah. I didn't even. So thank you, Wraith X. Now I'm curious because you are telling me that. So thank you.
I'm going to see DIY Duck instead. Wii Shenanigans for $10. Shocked you didn't cover Deer Camp. They should have stayed in Detroit where they are safe. Inside Out 2. It felt like Ruby Gilman. Obviously, a few things cut out or toned down almost ended up short.
Interesting. We are going to talk about Inside Out 2, but one last reminder here that we have Film Threat t-shirts, all kinds, and we're celebrating American Pride. So right here, check out on shop.filmthreat.com all sorts of movie logos that seem familiar with the Film Threat name. And it's beer, barbecue, and Film Threat because summer is here. So go to shop.filmthreat.com. See, if you were paying attention, Alan, you could just go and put up a little banner while I'm saying that. You could just go like that. See?
Oh, okay. Oh.
If you were paying attention to the show.
No, I was just looking at that awesome patriotic Film Threat shirt, and I
get a copy of Attack of the Doc on Blu-ray if you don't have it. But I gotta, yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Lots to discuss here. So our first thing now, I got to say something kind of important. Things like Star Wars going down the toilet. If I just focused on Star Wars and Marvel and how bad these things are, I would be depressed. The thing that gives me hope, the thing that keeps me going and doing this so I can talk to you, are little, small, indie movies. And we're going to talk about one today. And don't look it up when I tell you. It's amazing. It's The Coffee Table. We'll talk about it later. But indie movies, these little, small indie movies give me hope because they're pure from a creative voice. And whenever I get like bummed, like the Star Wars as like just something I used to love continues to be maligned, diminished. The people that are shepherds of the Star Wars franchise don't care as much as a lot of people who talk about it. So it's sad to me, which is when something comes along that a little small indie movie that I think I like a trailer, and I'll just watch movie trailers. Okay. I love them. and we're going to watch a trailer. Think of it as a palate cleanser. Yes, it's a science fiction movie. We recently saw the trailer for Mummy Shark. In the spirit of Mummy Shark, it's time now that we experience this Space Shark. This is our reaction to Space Shark. Alan, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Jesus, what's happening?
Oh my God.
Came from a ship that crashed back there. He's the only survivor.
Oh, did you see that? What do you know about these space flowers and space sharks?
What was that?
Oh, wow.
Dude.
Just when you thought the shark franchise or shark genre couldn't evolve more,
This
we have Space Shark.
it reminds me of like it looks, they look like aliens with their heads and whatnot.
And
And
they
see,
look
I like
skinny
to
legs.
watch a bad movie because the thing is, you think this is easy. They intentionally made a bad movie and then made a bad trailer. And I don't think anyone watching that would think it's trying to be it's trying to be fun. Okay. No one is taking that seriously at all. No one. So there you go.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I think what I found interesting was Ouija Shark took place in the woods, and Space Shark takes place in the desert.
and Exorcist Shark. Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah,
They're
I
all
mean,
over
sharks.
the place.
Yeah, sharks
Couple
continue to amaze
comments.
me.
Couple comments here. We're gonna watch one more trailer. Nick XH.
Yes, inside movie. Oh, sorry, indie movies. I swear, it's starting early. In the indie movies have more heart and soul because people making them are passionate and talented than mainstream. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
And then look at this comment, very appropriate.
Yeah, are we jumping to space? Are we jumping to space sharks? I hope they do it.
Quattrina VR.
If that's
And
not
right
in
here.
the movie. Christopher Moonlight Productions. Hey, Christopher. I promise you I will do better than Space Shark. I'm putting Disney on notice when my movie drops. You don't need to do better than Space Shark.
Well, there you go. All right. We have another trailer. We have a couple more. We have two more trailer reactions because my sanity needs to come back. This is more kind of a serious one here, but it's a movie that may not be on everyone's radar. Okay. So let me bring this up. See, while I'm doing that, Alan,
I don't know where you're going next.
Oh,
I could put it. I could put it up.
Here we go. Wait. All right. This is on the Film Threat
Oh, okay.
channel, by the way.
Okay.
And I love reacting to trailers.
Now that I know what you're doing, I can put the banner up.
All right. Here. Okay, let's go. Here we go.
Welcome to your life.
There's nothing a retired governor can do, but a president. Now he can do a thing or two.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
I will be frank with you that as a citizen, I would not like to see any political party outlawed on the basis of its ideology, because I still believe, Mr. Chairman, that democracy can handle it.
I was a brand new KGB officer, given my first intelligence assignment. A certain actor and union leader.
Dutch, there's a purpose for your life.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him.
This
It's about to be another war right here in Hollywood. The commies on one side, the mob on the other. And you're right in the middle, son.
If you put as much work into your career as you do making your speeches, you'd have an Oscar by now.
Well, what do you think, Alan?
You know, I was once excited to see this movie.
What's that?
I was once excited to see this movie.
Well, I like at least the story. It does lean into that he was very anti-communist.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of relevant to today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's just say when I first got to vote, I voted for Reagan.
Well, there you go. I was curious because of Dennis Quaid.
I know, me too. Apparently he got red-pilled.
I'll still go see it. I mean, it looks. I was curious how Dennis Quaid would pull it off. He's not terrible. It's not bad, but I don't know.
I mean, this feels like a lot of biopics that I watch. A lot of, indie biopics. It feels very much that way. The trailer, everyone, rule the world. Everyone who wants to rule the world, whatever. I don't know why they threw that in there. It just seemed weird.
It's stupid. They do this in all the time with it's just. But I don't know. It does look like people are saying it looks like a TV movie. Yes, it looked like a TV movie. Yeah. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll still go see it because I'm curious how Hollywood making and releasing a movie about a Republican president, how that will come off. It'd be really interesting to do a Trump movie. Well, there is one apparently.
There is one, yeah.
I hear it's
starring
bad.
Sebastian Stan.
I hear it's bad.
Yeah.
So, all right. One last trailer. This is like going to the movies. You see trailers and then you get the big feature. So, stay with me on these things. This is going to be fun because we're actually going to talk about this movie. I saw it. So here we go. The trailer for The trailer for Apocalypse Clown. Are you ready, Alan? Wait,
yes.
Screen here. All right. Here we go. Let's go, Alan. Ready? Go.
In a world on the brink of chaos, as darkness takes hold, 3 heroes emerge with big hearts and even bigger shoes.
What are we looking at?
I'm trapped in a box while screaming.
Okay, the other hand isn't helping.
The world has gone dark. There's something big going on here, and if I'm right, it's bigger than all of us.
Me and her have got a history and a future, by the looks of it.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing?
Did I read the moment wrong?
The world was done with clowning. It moved on to TikTok dances and live streaming hand jobs on the dark web. But none of that works now. Everything is obsolete except us.
The world is ours now. We're forming a troop. Clownpedo. Like a torpedo of clowns.
This is our chance to win back the woman that I love.
If I don't make it out of there, tell the world I died with dignity.
You want us to lie?
Well, no. Just implied I was wearing trousers.
Laughter is the only sane response to a meaningless existence.
Everyone dreams of dying doing what they love. What say we go out clowning?
Well, okay. Alan, what did you think? I've seen the movie and we're going to talk about it later. The clown Peter one is pretty hilarious, but I want to state something right off the top. They once, like, a clowning organization wanted to promote clowns, like hiring a clown for kids' birthday parties. So they did a survey of 200 kids and asked them, would you like a clown at your birthday party? 100% of the kids said no. I do not want a clown at my birthday party. People find clowns scary. Why do you think the Joker is such a popular Batman villain? I mean, come on. Yeah. There you go. Alan, your thoughts on the trailer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the clown pedo joke, but didn't sell it well. But I'm interested. I honestly tried to watch it last night, and there was a problem with the player, and it used up all 3 of my views. So I can't see it now.
Well, we'll review it later in the show. I had fun because this is not trying to be like some grand piece of art.
Yeah.
So there you go. But look, I like to show trailers that are off the beaten path, not your traditional trailers. You know, most people react to the big trailers, and we do that. And occasionally we want to let you know about some indie trailers and also promote our channel so you can discover them as well. All right. We have a lot of films to review. A lot. So what should we start with? The Power of One. The Power of Two. The Power of Many. The Power of One. Power of One. The Power of Two.
Internet.
The Power of Many.
No other collection gives you the feeling of pure moods.
What the heck was that? My God. Okay, we have indie film reviews, Inside Out 2. We have The Boys season 4. I've seen the first 3 episodes. House of the Dragon. I've seen episode 1 and 2. We have Lena Dunham's new movie. What should we start with, Alan? Sound of Possum?
I should mention we have Possum Trot, which is coming out on Juneteenth.
Okay.
For previews.
Why don't we review that? I
that.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but you have, Alan. Let's get up the posters. Let's kick it off with a review from Alan.
Okay. And of course, my internet is crapping out.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
I know.
No.
I wish everyone to have a very moist day.
Ready, Alan?
Almost. I'm just waiting for.
Is Alan chat? Is Alan out of sync?
Am I out of sync?
You're very much out of sync.
Am I out of sync?
It's not bring your daughter to work day, Alan. I just want to remind you. So
okay, here we go. All right. Sorry.
All right, here we go.
It's moving real slow here. All right, almost. We're almost
Chris
there.
Gore,
Share
how dare
screen.
you criticize the new woke
Come on,
Hollywood?
share the screen. God damn it.
We activists don't
Share
buy
the screen.
tickets because we are broke and miserable and we want everyone to be as negative as we are. Oh, and this goes for you as well, Mr. Ing.
All right, here we go. Is it there yet?
Now I know how Mo feels when Larry and Curly do something like.
Did you get anything? No. Oh, slacker. What's the idea of the 2 brushes? I'm in a hurry. Well, get going.
I'm Mo right now. All right, Alan, where is it?
There we go. Hey, there it is. May the menstrual
You see
cycle be with you always.
Oh my God. All right. Alan.
Is it not
tell
there?
me
Do you not
about-
see it?
Tell me about The Sound of Hope, Possum Trot, which is already kind of a terrible title for a movie. Tell me about this little indie film.
Okay, so this is from Angel Studios. This is the next chapter of Sound of Freedom, and we have Sound of Hope. So it's from the studio. It's not from the same makers. Story of Reverend Martin and his wife Donna Martin. They live in Possum Trot, Texas, and they're just a typical pastor and wife with 2 kids. One of them, I believe, is autistic. And the Lord gives a vision to Donna saying that they need to have more children, and they can't have more children. So they look into adoption. And while going through the adoption process, they realize that there's a huge need of foster parents. A lot of kids who are in the foster system, a lot of them are, the way they described it is like 25% of kids in the foster care system is just basically a victim of poverty. And all the parents need is kind of a help, a leg up to get their kids back into their homes. 75% though are in dire situations, abusive parents, missing parents, whatever. So the Martins decide that they're going to start foster care, foster adoption. They start with 2 kids. 2 kids turn into 3, and then 3 turns into 5. And the whole movie is basically their adventure in the foster care system. So much so that the Martins, they encouraged their entire church to foster children within the area of Possum Trot here. And there's one girl who's brought to. They decide that they're going to take the worst girl, the worst child, the worst case, and she's a girl who's gone through severe abuse. She thinks she's a cat, and this girl just becomes this big problem in terms of trying to reach her, trying to connect with her, and a lot of the movie is about that connection, trying to kind of redeem this girl. And so that's what Sound of Hope is. It's the idea that there are kids who are in the foster system who don't feel like they have hope, and a family and a church and a community that is willing to give these kids hope. And not to spoil the ending, but so many parents start foster parenting kids that Possum Trot, the 100-mile radius, they ran out of kids in the foster system. They tried to foster more, and there just weren't any because they're all taken care of. So that's this movie. It's the reason we're talking about today is on Juneteenth, next Thursday, Angel Studios is doing a preview of Sound of Hope.
So how does it compare to Sound of Freedom, or is it just because Angel Studios put it out? Or
yeah, it's they're pretty. They're 2 distinct movies, but I think it's the Sound of Hope versus the Sound of Freedom. I think they're trying to create a theme,
a brand,
so to speak.
I like to say your description does not make me want to see it.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. Am I going to be depressed after?
You are not going to be depressed like Sound of Freedom was. The kids, the plight of the kids in the foster system are kind of brought up in the beginning. It's not as horrific as Sound of Freedom, but this movie is this movie of hope. And, a foster care system that needs parents to come in. And I think that's what this movie's about, is to encourage families to consider going and taking care of foster children.
Would you describe this movie as life affirming?
Yes.
Okay.
And very religious. There's a religious aspect to it, as you'd expect from Angel Studios.
Yeah. Would you recommend the film?
I would absolutely recommend it. I think, it's that thing of, if you want some positivity in your life, definitely go see this movie. If you like your films a lot more dark, you're probably not going to be into it.
All right. Okay. Well, it's you, and I trust you, so I trust your recommendon.
Yeah.
Let's go to a couple.
Like when we were telling people go see Sound of Freedom because it's important, blah blah blah. I didn't necessarily walk away with that feeling of you have to see this movie.
Right.
It's just a movie of positivity, which is something we need.
Well, we could use more hopeful films for sure. Let's go to your comments right here. Castigan, were the possums put in a parade and trot down Main Street? Yes.
Yeah, that's the movie.
Torvidicus, who's a member, maybe it's a good thing Chris and Alan aren't in a room during these streams. Yes, because Alan, he can prep like before the show, or even we're watching a trailer or doing something else. He can be prepping behind the scenes.
I am prepped,
Just
by the
a
way.
piece of
It is
advice.
prepped. I am prepped. It's just at this specific moment in time, my computer decided to crap out on me.
All right.
Poster was there. The poster was
all
there.
right.
It just happened
Let's
to be the
do-
last poster in the list.
All right. I'll do one review that you for a movie I assume you haven't seen.
Okay.
Ride. And then we'll read some comments. That we're going to talk about Ride. Then we'll read super chats. Then we'll go to Inside Out 2. I promise. Okay. Ride is a movie set in Stephenville, Texas. It's about 3 generations of bull riders, and the young family's daughter is she's afflicted with cancer. She's in the hospital. She needs treatment that is going to cost a lot of money. The down payment for the treatment to treat her cancer is like 40 grand. And this family, you see them through the bull riding, you meet them, and the sort of middle, the father, patriarch of the family, and there's a grandfather and son, is played by C. Thomas Howell. He is so good in this movie. I didn't even recognize him. I had to look really close. He kind of has the same sort of gray beard that I have. It's super sexy, to be honest. But this is a crime drama where a horrible thing happens where they can get the money for her treatment, but then have to deal with a terrible crime and a cover-up. And it's the cost of what happens with this. I don't want to go into too much detail. I mean, I was midway through the movie, I was just not engaged. By the end, I can't say what happens. The performances are so good, and the movie feels like a documentary at times because they actually go to this. It's not like this staged Hollywood thing. I mean, you see bull riding. It's dangerous. You could not get me on one of those bulls. No way. I mean, you put your life on the line just sitting on one of those bulls. So it's almost like this is a weird way to describe it. I would say it's like a Hallmark movie for guys because it's very much like tough men, bull riding, the drama of the daughter in the hospital with cancer and dealing with that and the financial burden. And then a crime happens. I don't want to get into it too much and ruin the story, but in the end, I grew to like it. I mean, I recommend it. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. And it was really about, they brought it home. They really brought it home in the end. Because I did not expect how it was going to play out. And what the characters have to deal with and their love for each other. And I just thought that's what I mean. It's like a Hallmark movie for guys where it's like really tough men, but dealing with emotions. So I recommend Ride. Like I say, 6 out of 10 for me. Really, I mean, C. Thomas Howell, he's really evolved into just a mature actor now. So I recommend it. Just straight up. Think it's good.
So it sounds like there's 3 stories in here. There's the kid with cancer, the crime, and then bull riding.
Yes, that's it. Sort of 3 things that encompass it. And
I mean, is the bull riding is that a big part of the movie, or
it's not it's the background. It's the background. But the way it's shot, they just shot real. That's why it feels like a documentary.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really well done. So a movie that might be below the radar. It's in theaters, but you can get on VOD, but recommend it. So let's go to comments here. We've got a lot that have super chats that have here we go.
Yeah.
Davina Duckworth.
Breaking Bull. By By the way, just like the last one, I'm not sure you sold me on this movie either.
Yeah. We both did a terrible job of selling two little indie movies. So there you go.
Okay, from Beerosaurus Rex, how does this compare to Luke Perry's 8 Seconds?
I never saw that, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Here we go, right here.
Dark Sith 87 for 66.90. No, you need to move that decimal over one. Holy hell, Chris. You're not slurring your words today. You're sounding more like your old self. Keep it up, bud.
Give it time. I will slur. I can't even say slur. Slur.
Yeah, say prostitute.
Prostitute.
Oh,
how'd I do?
You did pretty good. All right, you got to be 90% now.
All right, thank you so much. Okay,
We've crossed the threshold. You could
keep going, Alan.
Donut Lord, member for 4 months. I hated Garfield movie. Went in for an orange cat and came out with this plot about a purple bull. What the shite? Also, Star Wars Acolyte, a woman's story.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, that's what she said. Let's see, Jazzy Jizzy Johnson for $4.99. Let's see. They're finally releasing the entire Three Stooges collection on Blu-ray, and I'm beyond excited.
The Three Stooges were so big as kids. We played Three Stooges. I mean, it's violent.
Yeah,
I love it. It's so good.
I was a Little Rascals guy, or kid.
That's cool.
Let's see, Gamera for let's see, I'm trying to find it
Member
here.
for
Gamera
5
for a member for 5 months. Thanks. Shakes the Clown will never be beat.
There you go.
And Willie the Monkey King for $1.99. Thank you. I think Chris is jealous of Alan's big D energy.
For Disney. That's what D stands for. Disney.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I was gonna say I am Asian.
Thank you,
so,
Willie. Thank
all
you,
right.
Willie.
And then Latino slang for 2. Alan, stop Latino hate. I don't know if you guys got your act together. I'll see if I still have time on Monday after Versus to join you. Gokan-san, new member. Thank you. Join us on the membership tab. Lord Metroid, member for 7 months. Chris is feeling a new hope.
Thanks.
And
Thank
then
you.
Nick XH, member for 3 months. Inside Out, more like Inside Woke. Is that our segue? No, it's not our segue. Razorburn, daddies, please don't fight. He's talking about you and me.
We always fight. I don't know, but it's not. I mean, we're goofing around, but whatever.
From a road Jarman, when the show gets professional, I'm out.
I don't think we're capable of being professional at this point. So there you go. All right. The time is here. We are ready. It's time for Inside Out 2. Alan and I saw it a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the sequel to was it wildly successful?
It was wildly successful. It did
wildly successful Pixar film. This is the follow-up. And a lot of people are saying it's a return to form. Pixar is back. Alan, can you tell us the story of Inside Out 2?
All right. So Inside Out 2, Riley, a young teen Riley, preteen Riley. She is she is part of the championship hockey team for her league. They won the championship with her friends Bree and Grace. The three together are a powerful force. And after the championship game, the head coach of Riley's upcoming high school decides, hey, you girls are great. Let's bring you to hockey camp for the summer, and we'll see if you can make the team. The three are super excited. And as Riley goes to bed that night, we go into her mind, and there's our friends, joy, anger, sadness, disgust, and fear. They're just doing their thing. And then all of a sudden, demo comes. And Riley's headquarters is turned into puberty headquarters because overnight, Riley starts puberty. And with puberty comes new emotions. That being anxiety, ennui, embarrassment, and envy. That's right. And look, it's big camp. Riley finds out that her two best friends are not going to the same school she is. She needs to make friends, and so summer camp is her time to get in good with the hockey team, especially its captain, who she idolizes, and Anxiety decides, look, she needs to take over. Anxiety realizes that if Riley screws up the weekend, her life is over. And when Joy tries to convince her that it's not going to be over, Anxiety takes our gang, puts them in a jar, and sends them off into the vault to never be seen again. And that is our story. Will Riley make the team? Will Riley make friends? Will Riley keep her best friends who are no longer going to her school? Well, find out.
Yeah, so there's two stories happening simultaneously. In her brain, Riley's emotions. So new emotions have been introduced. There's embarrassment, and anxiety is the one that just takes over, which is Riley thinking about being stressed out about what might happen in the future.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, I'm stressed out about all these things. They haven't happened, but they might happen. And anxiety has kind of made Riley very erratic in her behavior in the outside world. So
yeah,
inside the brain.
Let me elaborate on that.
Please.
Joy looks at the past, and Joy basically collects all the good memories that Riley has had. And so it allows Riley to look back and see what fun she had growing up. Anxiety, on the other hand, looks into the future at all the possible permutations of how life could go wrong, and just builds upon that. And that's kind of the conflict we have in this story.
Yeah, so those two stories are happening at once. They intersect. You see Riley acting strangely, like she kind of betrays her old friends by trying to be cool in front of the new friends at the new school she's going to, which is very, very junior high behavior. Very junior high to like, I'm too cool for you guys now. I don't like, they have a whole conversation about this band, like some boy band, and she claims to not like them because it's not cool to like that band. So I thought it was very authentic to that stage of life, which is like preteen, moving to teen, to between high school and junior high. But it doesn't completely work. Couple things. One, is hockey popular among young girls? Are there female hockey leagues all over where it's a thing? I don't know that there is. I've never heard of it, but I'm sure it exists in Canada. Let's just say that.
But this is not Canada. That's the problem.
It's not Canada.
This is San Francisco.
Exactly. So in San Francisco, are there girls hockey leagues where they're just super aggressive? So that I didn't buy. And the other thing is, there were missed opportunities to me. When you're that age, you're just getting into boys, right? Or having feelings potentially that involve, sexual feelings, very innocent at first. So none of that is dealt with at all. A couple of other things. Every time they would show a group shot of like the girls, Riley and her friends, and Riley's friends, Riley is white and she has a black friend and an Asian friend. And the new high
Polly.
Huh?
Black and Asian.
Yeah.
Those are
And then they have the new high school friends that are also, there's someone who's black, there's someone who's Asian, there's a girl that's Muslim who has the hijab or whatever, and you're like, it's like a box of crayons. We want to be perfect diversity. Everything is there and represented, and it seems so on the nose. It's just and then so that is just sometimes cringe. The emotions part, it's like the rules are all made up. I'm doing this, I'm grabbing this globe, I'm running down this thing. There was actually a really funny scene at the sarcasm.
Yeah.
Which is literally a chasm where they would just say something and it would come off like really sarcastic. Like, Alan, I'd say, Alan, I really like your new haircut. And then you hear them hearing it is like, Alan, I really like your new haircut. So that scene was funny. That was funny. So, but ultimately, and I hate to admit this, at the end, they pull the two storylines together. And there's a moment at the end where Riley kind of realizes she's been acting erratically and it's, compromised her friendships and her behavior has hurt her friends. And she comes to a realization about her behavior and it all kind of comes together, which I thought was a great moment. I admittedly got choked up, but not like other Pixar movies. Like, oh, that's really nice. That's a perfect story for that stage of life, exactly for a girl who plays hockey. But it didn't feel universal. It felt like a lot of the humor never took risks. It never took risks. And Alan, I know you're the biggest Disney shill, the biggest Disney fan.
Yeah. Although that money spigot has dried up.
Yeah, it's dried up. But so I'm very mixed on it. It came through in the end, but ultimately I was like, this is not even near the best of Pixar. It's not. People are going to say, other reviewers are going to say, Pixar is back. Pixar is back. It's the greatest thing since No, this is very mid Pixar for me.
Compared to Lightyear, this is so much better.
Well, it's better than Lightyear. And the one thing I'll say, other than the diversity stuff that's so annoying, it's not particularly woke, right?
No,
Which I know people get annoyed. It's not. It's just not.
Yeah, the only thing woke about it is her diverse friends. I mean,
which is whatever. It's eye rolling. But Alan, I kind of gave you my thoughts. I want to hear what you think.
Because it gets to the point where Riley can only say, "Look, I can only have one Asian friend."
It's so weird. No, it's sort of like she has an old friends that are black and Asian. She has new friends that are black and Asian. And they all have a pink streak in their hair. Yeah. So then she adds a pink streak so she can fit in with all the girls.
So my point is that she has a checklist of friends, black, Asian, Latino.
Yes.
And when she checks one off, she can't have another one. That's how this works. Look, I'll say this. It's not woke. Everything we feared it would be. We'll talk about anxiety for a moment in a moment, but everything you thought it would be in terms of woke and lesbians and whatever, it's not there. There's no romance. She doesn't fall in love with the coach or with the captain. She idolizes her, but she doesn't fall in love with her. In fact, she's obsessed with an anime character, a male anime character. And honestly, having just gone through this stage in life with my own kid, this felt very authentic to me. Everything that happened here, I'm like, oh, I remember that. I remember. And because, and look, I'll say this. It's safe. I think parents, this is a great movie to take your kids to. I don't think you're going to have any problems. It's safe. I was watching WDW Pro and he was not excited about the anxiety character. I think it was important to have the anxiety character. I think they handled it wrong. The anxiety character is basically the villain in this movie. She's the one who kicks out the gang. Yeah, who kicks out the gang, who decides that, she's the one who's going to run Riley. And it gets to the point where Riley has a panic attack near the end of the film. And it's very true to form in terms of how that happens. I will agree in the sense that anxiety is not an emotion, but anxiety is something you have to manage, something you have to handle. And that's kind of the point of we as parents, is to teach our children, how do you deal with anxiety? And in this one, and a lot of times parents will give their kids drugs. That's how they'll deal with anxieties. And in this movie, it doesn't do the drug route. It just realizes that there are more emotions that can balance it out. There are memories that can balance it out. And then there's this idea that they bring into it of beliefs, that these collections of memories create beliefs. And by creating strong beliefs, you could handle anxiety. And so I think the message is, it may not be perfect, but I think it's good. And I would recommend it to anyone who has any parents of preteens and older children. This is a good movie. I will say, though, not excited about the animation, not excited about the comedy. The animation felt small compared to the original.
The animation, I don't know why it didn't. It just was not.
Pop.
It wasn't impressive. It wasn't impressive.
And I'll tell you why. That everything felt cramped. You know, when in the original one, you know, you go into HQ and you look way off into the distance, and you see the world of Riley's mind, and it's vast and feels infinite. In this one, it just feels close, and it just felt like that this was, you know, it's the difference between animation for television and animation for movies. This felt like animation for television. Nothing really popped. There's a part where they're kind of there's this giant mountain of memories, and they're kind of rolling down it like an avalanche or a surf or something like that. It felt flat. This movie feels flat. There's no depth in this movie. Even the headquarters in the original, it felt bigger. It felt like, you know, one of these 60s apartments that just was vast and big with stairs. This one, it just felt like a small studio that they had shot in a small studio. This is, you know, we'll go back to the D-Files. You know, it feels like they got rid of people who knew how to do this better. This movie is not Pixar excellence.
Yes,
you know, and it's just so, you're just going to watch this. If you're a fan of the first one, you're going to watch it, and you're going to wonder to yourself, why doesn't it feel as wonderful and special as the first movie? And that's the thing I locked onto. It's just the world shrunk, and you know, there was majesty and grandeur that came with the first one that's missing in this one. The second is the comedy. The comedy.
Can I give a comment on that real quick? Real quick comment. I know what you're going to say because we talked after. Yeah. It feels like the direct to VHS sequel to Inside Out. You know, when they would do these cheap sequels like Cinderella 2 or Bambi 2 or Lion King 2, like, and I bought all those in the clamshell in the 90s. It feels like it's at every level, it's lesser than the original movie. And that's what this is. It's a direct to VHS or direct to VOD or direct to streaming sequel to Inside Out. It's passable and it's good, but doesn't even. And the thing is, you can't say that about Toy Story. Toy Story, at least 2 and 3, up the ante. Yeah. Up the ante and continue the story of Andy and his toys. And
you saw the evolution of the technology too, from the first Toy Story to Bug's Life, then just Toy Story 2. You saw how Pixar had evolved and grew as a company and their technology.
Not just technology, storytelling. Toy Story 3. There's a moment, I'm getting chills thinking about it, where I'm like, oh my God, they are all going to die.
Yeah.
They are all, you know, the moment I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do know that moment.
And I was like, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. I'm watching that scene. Don't cry. And the fact that Pixar could do that and each thing, you know, like a one up, that it's just the level of quality went up. This is not a rise in quality. It's fine. It's fine. But like I said, it's direct to streaming and it's okay. However, I'll say this. For girls at that stage of life, at 13, this is the perfect movie. It really is for that particular stage of life. I mean, you know, it really is great. And so that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, so let's talk about the comedy. I mean, starting with Toy Story, the first Toy Story, Pixar was known for its comedy. Even in the bad movies, you're still kind of laughing. This one, this is a problem I found with Elemental, and this is the same thing I find with Inside Out too. The comedy is bland. You know, if you've ever written comedy, look, do comedy. I'm not a stand-up, but I have talked to people and I do understand the process. But when you have comedy, you have an idea. Hey, this might make a great joke, and then you pour over that joke. You write it, you rewrite it, you test it. You just and you got the sense that Pixar had been doing that with its comedy for forever, from the very beginning. With Elemental and with this one, the comedy is just bland. It falls flat and it feels safe. And this is what I imagine is going on at Pixar right now, especially in the writers' room, is that when I do comedy, I look for that line, that line you cross into inappropriateness. And then I will cross that line into inappropriateness to see if the joke works. And then if the joke works, I'll back up and then get back on the other side of that line and just take it to the moment. Like
I've seen you. I've gone to your improv show.
Yeah, but you went to the Dirty Show, which
crossed. Alan, you crossed the line.
I know, but that was the Dirty Show. Of course you crossed the line. But the other shows, the ones I prefer performing, are the family-friendly shows. We have kids in our audiences. And I love sneaking up to that line and figuring out, okay, how can I pull this joke off without crossing it, and to where parents know what you're doing, but the kids are like, what? And then telling kids, just ask your parents on the ride home what that joke was about. I have a hernia check joke that I do a lot, and it's just great. But the thing is you need to cross that line in order to know where the boundaries are, and then tell the joke at the boundary there. Pixar doesn't do that anymore. Pixar is safe. In fact, we've become so woke that even going and crossing that line can get you canceled. We saw that with, I believe it was Friends or Seinfeld or something, where people were uncomfortable with where the writer's room was going. And you almost felt like the writer's room had to go there in order to pull back and get the real joke. So at Pixar, it just feels like at Pixar, at Disney, no one wants to even get close to that line. And when you can't get close to that line, when you limit your comedy, when you prejudge and self-censor to the point where you can't even get close to that line, your comedy suffers and becomes bland. And this movie, you watch it and there are funny moments. I laughed out loud at several moments, but there are moments where you kind of smirk and you realize, oh, they could have done better with that. The whole brainstorming section, it should have been better than what it was. And I'll say that this is a movie that should have been 10 times better than it is. And I feel like that this current wokeness, this current fear of offending, is ruining comedy, and it's ruining it in children's comedy as well. And so I'm trying to remember that final point I was going to make about this, but you just feel like, oh, this joke should have just paid off. Oh yeah, I remember, because we talked about this during the credits.
Right.
And I said, the comedy is just too safe. And then then there's an end credit scene that is supposed to be the big payoff punchline. And it was just like, oh, really? That's how you're going to end this movie?
Yeah. It was a weird. There is a post-credit scene. There's a post-credit scene.
But you saw the joke and it was like, oh, it's not like you felt like they didn't even try. They didn't even try to come up with a good joke at that point.
Yeah.
So look, it's a good movie. It's not woke. It's safe. Parents, take your kids to see it. But this is, it's like, the best thing. Where's Pixar? At least they didn't go woke with this one.
Well, the worst you can say, it played it too safe.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I still recommend it, but it's a soft recommend. Probably a 6.5.
I'll say I was looking at my local theater. I talk about it a lot because no one goes to it. And they had 5 screenings yesterday. They were all about 70% full. So I think this movie's going to do well this weekend.
Yeah. All right. Do you recommend it? Do you have a?
Yeah, I do recommend it. I mean, but if you're looking for classic Pixar, you're not going to get it.
It's not classic Pixar. Okay, let's go to your comments here, starting with some super chats.
All right, let me find it here. Thomas Pickett for 5. Alan, we all have a bingo card to pick our friends out. I got lesbian black girl with pink hair. Bingo.
That's what you really see, and you're looking at the picture. It's like a box of crayons. Well, we have to have an Asian. Well, there's someone black. There's a Muslim with a hijab. There's a this friend. There's a mixed race. It's just too on the nose. Anyways.
Yeah. So how do you say crayons again?
Crayons.
Okay.
What's the correct
You're
way?
from the Midwest. You're from the Midwest.
Yeah.
That's crayon.
At least I don't say wash. I say wash your clothes. Yeah, some people say wash your clothes.
So the other one is it pop? Do you say pop?
Yeah, pop.
Okay.
Or I say soda now, but
yeah.
Anyways.
All
All
right.
right.
Matthew Hammond remember for 3 months. Oh no, does she go shopping for feminine products? No, it doesn't go turning red at all. From Wee Shenanigans for 5. It's kind of like the softball infrastructure. It's there to be a pipeline to the women's hockey team required by Title IX. They are out there. Yeah, softball would have been the better sport or the more realistic sport, I think. Raven and the writing desk. Remember for 13 months. Thank you so much for re-upping. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Chelsea M. Okay. Chelsea M. I think, okay. My mom looked into this movie for her grandkids and wasn't sure about the new emotions, just given Disney's track record with influencing kids. I don't blame you. This is the biggest struggle that Disney has with Inside Out is its reputation over the last few years.
Yeah.
The important question from Blockstar 1069. The important question, Bing Bong. No, Bing Bong died in the first movie. What are you talking about? My kingdom for a film. My mom's job is editing a mental health relationship.
My main job.
Oh, sorry. My mom's job. My main job is editing a mental health relationship YouTube channel. And this movie represents anxiety accurately. It's so good. They creatively show what's going on inside of us when anxiety leads us. Yeah. Like I said,
I thought that was handled well too. I thought that was, she sees these balls that show you what might happen and she's reacting to it. It hasn't happened. So that was well done.
Yeah. And again, anxiety is not an emotion, but it's something kids have. Again, I've been through it. I just went through it. I know. Hey, it's me in HD. Did I also mention I have a master's degree in education and adolescent development? Okay. Hey, it's me in HD. LOL, this should have been an action movie. The emotions battling puberty blockers. Oh, there you go. Laura Buckles thought there would be a new character. PMS. From Cast Again, they should have done Cynicism, who questions the need for a sequel constantly in a fourth wall break. Yeah. James Raschuti, in the Northeast, hockey is huge for boys and girls. Yeah, but this is San Francisco. All right. Mike MC Wong, never seen Asian hockey players, not even males. Yeah. Mark Clement, an Asian friend. Oh no, there goes the neighborhood. Chelsea M. Yeah. The one and only movie involving hockey was that was awesome was The Mighty Ducks. They could have set that movie anywhere in the country and it wouldn't have mattered. There you go. And then from Rumble, Caveat Ties. Hey, Caveat. For 1, make pop cool again.
Absolutely. There you go. So that's Inside Out too. That's Inside Out. We have more films to discuss. Let's do this one because Alan, let's go.
Which one? Oh,
we've both seen this. We have both seen the new Lena Dunham movie with Stephen Fry. Treasure. It is set in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, late 90s.
Late 90s. Lena Dunham, her character, is going back to Poland, back to the home where her father grew up. And she's going there on a journey, and her father is revisiting his old apartment that he lived as a child, where he was kicked out as his whole family's Jewish, and they
Actually,
were
I need
kicked
to correct
out.
you. I
Oh,
need to
sorry,
correct you. Lena Dunham's character is on a trip to Poland to learn about her heritage, and her
Yes.
father insisted on coming along reluctantly.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And to revisit like everything that happened. He hasn't quite dealt with what happened to him and his family. Obviously, they were all taken and sent to camps, and his members of his family that her character didn't even know they existed were killed. And it's one of those, it's played like a road movie because there's a whole they're dealing with traveling different hotels and whatnot and dealing with the past. When she goes to visit the old apartment, her father sees some of his old possessions, their old silverware and a teapot
And
and
the China
Ruth,
set of China.
So Ruth buys it back. She wants to, buy back this stuff. They go and visit actually Auschwitz. And this is a trope of a type of indie movie. A lot of indie movies are reconciling with the past while on the road. And that's what this is. So it's very much a cliche for an indie film. And Stephen Fry is great as the father. He kind of doesn't want to deal with it, Obviously, his daughter Ruth kind of pulls him along to dealing with the emotions of the past. And I did kind of get choked up at the end. It was because anything father-daughter gets me. It just gets me. I'm sorry. It does. But Lena Dunham, cast anybody but her. She is not there was no reason for it. She does a nude scene and she does not look good. I'm sorry to say. She's gotten larger since appearing in Girls, the HBO series, and they show her in a bath, topless, just naked. Why? You didn't need any of that. Didn't need to happen. And I just feel like I've seen this kind of movie before. It's a very good type of indie film. I think you could completely skip this and you wouldn't miss anything. And I think the turnoff for me is Lena Dunham. Stephen Fry, I like a lot. And it's at least under 2 hours. But I feel like this is a kind of indie movie. You could have a section in the video store of road movie dealing with the past, road movie going back home. Although it's her father that's kind of going back home and dealing with it. So I don't know. For me, it kind of is bordering on like, yeah, I'm fine that I saw it, but I don't know that I can recommend it to you. So, Alan, what did you think?
Yeah. There are movie genres out there that just by its very nature, you have to like, or you're racist, or in this case, anti-Semitic. Holocaust stories. If you don't like this Holocaust movie, you're anti-Semitic. If you don't like this slave movie, you're racist. And that's the sense I get going into these movies. It's like, it's like, this movie, when it comes out, people are going to say, oh, it's amazing. It's heartwarming. It's her journey, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, but it's still a bad movie.
Yeah.
In this case, Stephen Fry is great. Lena Dunham's annoying. I was looking at the press notes for this, and the writer and director were like, we got to get Lena Dunham to do this role. And so she was the first choice because they liked her attitude in Girls. And so they did this. But it's, I mean, look, the thing about this movie is it's fairly predictable in the sense of, look, father and daughter, father is a Holocaust survivor and they go back to Auschwitz. and you can kind of, everything that happens in this movie, you kind of know is you can anticipate it happening. You have to have one of these scenes. You have to have the scene where he's like, he has flashbacks or PTSD. Like there's a beginning moment in the movie where she buys tickets for a train to get them into town, and he won't get on the train. Wonder why? Then there's the there's the was it Holocaust Museum, and she gets kind of pissy at the fact that it's not a museum, and that just the whole idea of a museum is abhorrent to her. You just kind of know that these scenes are coming up. And I'll tell you, there's a movie coming out this fall called A Real Pain, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, two brothers who go to Auschwitz to experience their family trauma. I mean, we're getting two of these this year. That one's at least a little bit better. But it's like, when you have a movie like this that just plays on the trope and does the things you expect, you are looking for something for this movie to stand out. And I felt like this one doesn't necessarily stand out in any way for me. That makes me want to say, hey, this is the reason you want to see this movie, this scene, or this message, or the ending. It just feels very familiar. And so I'm like, if you're interested in the subject matter, go ahead. But there will be better movies that come out like this. If you're a fan of Stephen Fry and you can deal with Lena Dunham, go see this movie. But this one just doesn't stand out for me.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, I'm happy that I saw it, and okay, the father-daughter relationship works, but I can't recommend it to you. I can't say you're gonna love it, because you're probably,
or worse yet, or you need to see this movie. That's the thing I cannot say about it.
I can't either. So there you go.
Although Lena Dunham nudity won't do it for you.
Lena Dunham nudity. Does she have? Wait, does Lena Dunham have a Mr. Skin page?
I believe she was naked in Girls.
A lot.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot.
Yeah.
So if Lena Dunham nudity is a selling point, go see Treasure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to your
teasers along the way from the. All right, from 4D Viking. Stop trying to make Lena Dunham a thing. Nepotism can only go so far. She a Nepo baby? All right, from Caveat Ties. For one, thank you for that. Treasure stole the title of one of my short stories. Yeah, sue him. Sue the hell out of him. Patrick Lemire, please no nudity. Rudy Jarmish, Stephen Fry is always great. Lena sucks. Yep. Rudy also says, why not Natalie Portman instead of Lena Dunham? I think they need someone younger. And then Rumba Hotep, if you're a fan of Auschwitz.
Yeah, if you're a fan. So, okay, let's switch now. Okay. We're going fast and furious on these reviews. Did you see this film?
I've not seen that one.
Okay. It's this movie does kind of tie in to Treasure. It's also a father-daughter relationship. It's about a construction worker that somehow gets cast in the lead of a play of Romeo and Juliet. And the drama kind of is reflecting his own life, things that are going on in his own life. And he's a construction worker that doesn't know anything about putting on a play. He gets involved in this group, this little stage production, and there's a lot of fish out of water stuff. Mm-hmm. His daughter is very enthusiastic and knows a lot about acting and being creative. He's a lowly construction worker, whatever, who's just trying to provide for his family and somehow gets sucked into this stage production. Again, I almost feel the same way I felt about Treasure. I don't regret that I saw it, but I can't recommend it. It's very much checks the boxes of a lot of types of indie movies. It's a guy going through something in life who makes a dramatic change. I'm doing a stage play. I'm cast as the lead. Originally, he was just a bit player. Now he's the lead of the play. He's Romeo. And an older woman is cast opposite him, an older Asian woman, and they kind of they're like, it's Romeo and Juliet. You can cast whoever, which is fine. And it's this little production, and it's like fine by the end. I'm like, oh, okay, that was sweet, but it is a box checking of all the things you see in indie movies. A character who has a very sort of a life that's very much, just waking up and doing his job, that has a dramatic change that changes him and his relationship with his daughter. And there are hugs in the end.
Aww.
Now, do I regret seeing it? No, I like father-daughter stories. We need more strong fathers presented positively in film. So on that, I applaud this movie. But it's good. It's good. But again, not like a rush to the theater and see it. So if it's on streaming, you see it there, pop it on, and it's all right. It's just
I don't know if you can see in the quote there, but it says, "I don't regret seeing this Chris Gore film thread."
No, it's just we see a lot of indie movies, and just as there are like cliches or tropes like in mainstream movies, a lot of indie movies also have tropes and cliches.
Yeah.
And
those should be reserved for indie films and not for big budget, big studio films. That's the thing.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just seen it before, maybe seen it done better. But I do
studio
like
films should never be formulaic. That's the thing. I can understand it with indie films because you're in that training ground and you're trying to move up. But for big studios to just continue to push out formulas, it's not right. I'll say this: if you want to see a movie about acting, about unlikely people going into acting, in limited release right now is Sing Sing, starring Coleman Domingo. It's a story of an acting program in Sing Sing prison, and much better and much more inspiring. And it's a true story too. So there are plot twists and elements that are real.
But there is something to the thing that worked was, I'm a construction worker. What am I doing in this play? First, he gets involved and it's like, all right, this is fine. I'll be a bit player. This is a fun recreational thing to do. Then suddenly he's the lead in the play trying to remember lines. So that worked, but it's just okay, I would say.
Yes, I don't regret seeing it.
Yeah. Let's go to comments here.
All right, from Carnage 23 for 5. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for recommending Sloppy Seconds. I was able to find a copy of Dogma on Blu-ray through their site.
Yeah, Sloppy Seconds Sales is a website that sells movies that are hard to find. Wink, wink. So yeah, glad you liked it. That's great. And hey, look at this, Suns and Shadows. Thank you.
Yeah, 5 gifted Film Thread memberships.
Yeah.
Lock it in. All right, SB of the North. I love box checking. Don't we all?
Yay.
It feels like you're accomplishing things, checking things off. I have a Hispanic friend now. From Nerd Far Away, Ghostlight, you have my attention. This story sounds interesting. Theater is my hobby.
Yeah.
So for theater nerds.
For theater nerds will have an appreciation for it. So, and hey, Nerd Far Away, always like to hear from you.
And from Apocalypse Tedium, shame indies used to take more chances. Shame to see trope applied to so many.
No, it's I think it's okay. It's a structure, right?
Yeah.
It's a structure. What do they say? There's only 7 types of stories, but that's okay. So, but this was just, it was fine, not groundbreaking.
Yeah.
All right. We have so much to review.
Yeah, how we doing? Okay.
we're on. We are going to get to The Boys season 4 and House of the Dragon. But first, let's do this. Frank Miller, American. What?
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 I didn't say anything.
Alan. Okay.
What?
Frank Miller, American Genius is a documentary about Frank Miller. He is the wildly talented artist and writer behind literally a milestone in comics. The Dark Knight Returns, published in, I believe, 1986. I was there for that. I would go to my local comic book store. They came out like 3-4 months apart. It changed the industry. It made Batman a dark figure. There would be no Batman 1989 if not for this comic book. This paved the way and showed you how to portray Batman as a dark figure. Not only that, his runs with Daredevil, he created 300, the comic book. Frank Miller has been so influential. He raised the bar and made the graphic novel a thing that was reviewed in things like Time magazine. It became mainstream, right? And I have all my original. I bought them individually. The Dark Knight. I have the collected. If you have not read it, I read it once a year to renew my faith in comics, that this is what the medium is capable of. So I went to the premiere earlier this week. The film is directed by Selene Thomas, who interviewed everyone, just a lot of people like luminaries. Interviewed Stan Lee before he's got, and Stan Lee talking about Frank Miller is in the film, so which is good. But other people as well. Bill Sienkiewicz, if you're not familiar with Bill Sienkiewicz, is in the film. A lot of other luminaries. There's a Q&A that preceded the movie. If you saw it in a theater, there was like one screening. Okay. I was lucky enough to go to the theater where Frank was interviewed by Rosario Dawson. If you're a member of the channel, you can watch the whole interview in our members only videos. But if you don't know who Frank Miller is, get educated, see this film. I'm sure it'll be coming out to VOD. If you're a fan, this will expand on your knowledge. He was a kid that was obsessed, who his mom just dropped him off in New York, lived in small apartments with roommates just to have a chance to, and he took a very cinematic approach to his art, using black and shadows so much. It goes through his whole process of, how he developed his artistic style and his writing style. And I love the doc. If you're a fan of Miller, you don't need to be sold on this. You probably already know a lot about what you'll see in the film, but I can't recommend it enough. And I just really liked it. I like docs about artists, and this was very good. So a lot of footage of Frank Miller working. Actually, he just takes the ink and he'll just flick it on a piece of paper. Fantastic. Find it, see it.
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah,
I tried to go Monday, but that was Return of the King for me and my daughter. So,
they limited screenings, but I'm sure it will come out on Blu-ray and VOD. Just a fantastic doc, and I like docs about artists and sort of getting into their head. And they do actually. I will say this: there have been controversies related to Frank Miller, and they deal with it. His alcoholism, his foray into politics. They deal with it because he's been criticized for his politics.
Was it Alan Moore featured in that as well, or?
Alan Moore is not in this, but Banksy is. And they don't even say Banksy. I was like, who is that? Oh, it's Banksy. So if you know who Banksy is, whatever. Anyways, Neil Adams is in it. It's really good. Just if you're a comic nerd, I mean, if you're watching this channel, you probably are. See the doc however you can. So there you go.
No, my first exposure to Frank Miller was Daredevil versus Hulk. And then you move into the Elektra, the death of Elektra.
Well, Daredevil Born Again, epic. Epic. I remember when I was there when he, all his comics came out. You'd go to a comic shop, people were going nuts. Lines. When is Dark Knight, book 3 coming out?
Yeah.
Like it was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And then Sin City. The movie, at least, I didn't read the comic, but the movie was groundbreaking to me. Was next level. So yeah, I can't wait to see this documentary. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's go to your comments.
From Chelsea M, I liked the Frank Miller interview you guys posted for members. Definitely a legend in comics. Yes.
Thank
Become
you,
a
Chelsea.
member and watch that interview.
Thank you, Chelsea, for being a member. Next week, I'm going to see that Daddy-O movie with Sean Penn and Dakota Johnson. I'm probably going to film it. I do have to apologize for my camera work. I'm sitting here with my phone like this. Okay.
Well, hey, I'll be there too. So,
and people are going in front of me. I'm like, all right. So thank you, Chelsea. Apologies for the bad camera work, but I always post things for members. Thank you.
From Razorburn, The Dark Knight Return was my first introduction to Frank Miller.
Oh, so good.
SP of the North. Here's an old white guy, clearly stole and should not be. Here's an old white guy. Clearly stole and should not be.
He's an old white guy, clearly stale.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Nope. I can't even be sarcastic about it. I love Frank Miller. Still read his Daredevil runs. I mean, come on. That's classic. From Tom Siebert. Hey, Tom. I was teaching high school when Dark Knight Returns came out. Got at least 100 students hooked, and half of the male teachers. People were literally discussing it in classrooms. Big deal at the time.
It was the timing of it. Hey, Tom, thank you. It was amazing. People who weren't into comics started reading comics because it was adult. It was very adult.
I remember just how, what the Joker does in that series to me, it's still, I can't get it out of my mind. And to know that a comic book went that far.
It influenced all comic book movies after that. So
yeah, they killed David Letterman, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Dr.
All
Ruth.
right. Let's continue on our journey.
All right.
And let's talk Apocalypse Clown. Apocalypse Clown. This is funny enough, this is an Irish film. It's all Irish actors shot in Ireland. And it's a comedy about a group of clown performers who get thrown in jail. They're at this clown funeral, which is crazy. This clown master somehow drops dead. They go to the funeral for a clown, and everyone's dressed as clowns. They all get thrown in jail for whatever, for various reasons. And in the middle of that, as they are let out of jail, there's an apocalypse. Basically, like some sun flare that burns out all of the power. There's no power, no cell phones, and the world goes mad. People go insane because nothing works. Vehicles don't work, cell phones don't work, there's no power, and it becomes literally Mad Max. But they're all still dressed as clowns. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. There's a joke about forming a huge clown torpedo that they call a clown pedo. Might be a bad naming for that. And a group of characters tries to now survive the post-apocalypse dressed as clowns. One of the clowns just never breaks character. and she wants to kill people, and she's in a fight with these two statue performers that try to murder her, and it's so ridiculous and over the top. Factions form and it's just, I found myself, I mean, it's super low budget. I found myself entertained, and I enjoyed Apocalypse Clown. We watched the trailer earlier. It's on our trailers channel. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It's a ridiculous comedy, and it plays into the evil clown, which is, I guess, a cliche. If you're a dangerous clown, that's a thing you don't want to be. You want to be a likable clown. So I enjoyed it. It's so like, it's not like cliche in any way. It's just like cheesy comedy, ridiculous, over the top, and the climax is just bizarre. So there you go.
Yeah.
Alan, what'd you think of Apocalypse Clown?
I didn't see it. I tried to watch it. It wouldn't work, and I used up all my views. I will say this: you talk about Ireland. I mentioned it again in the Film Thread interviews in the next day or so. Have an interview with some Irish filmmakers. Ireland is becoming the mecca for indie film, and the big reason why is because the country is funding and supporting indie films.
Yes,
and
yes.
Almost anyone with an idea and a good script can get their film made in Ireland, and it's just that country is supporting indie filmmaking, and it's pretty amazing that's where you have to go for it.
Yeah. Well, what people don't know is other countries actually support the arts. So, for example, the Canadian Film Board, there are film boards in other countries, and the reason what they do is they support filmmakers because they're trying to export culture, and they actually support artists. Just saying that happens.
Yeah, and the other thing is the resources. There are a lot of resources. The guy I was interviewing, the producer, he came from an Irish soundstage. I mean, for a small TV show he's working on. So sound stages, camera, it's all there if you want to make an indie film. But I'm pretty sure they won't let you do it unless you're Irish.
Yeah, well, look, it's fun if you want to roll the dice, take a risk on a comedy that isn't cliche. Check out Apocalypse Clown. Let's go to comments here.
All right. From Professor Fear. I love the smell of cotton candy in the morning. Razorburn. Hey, does Pennywise make an appearance?
No. But they deal with this concept of the evil clown.
All right.
So
Patrick Lemire. Grease paint protects from radiation. Oh, is that how they survive?
Hey,
Thomas
super
Pickett
chat.
for 5. Hey, Thomas. Clowns need to be the next protected class. The prejudice against clowns have been going on for far too long. Hashtag boop the red nose.
Thank you for your super chat there.
All right. Patrick Lemire. I'll wait for Clowniosa. And then
good.
from Davina Duckworth, some kind of insane clown posse.
Yes, ICP. So there you go. Hey, Alan, I made a mistake. I forgot to include a movie I want to talk about. Can you find the poster for The Coffee Table?
The Coffee Table.
It's a Spanish film, came out this year. It's called The Coffee Table.
You're gonna make me use up my internet resources here.
Using internet. Please stick with us. We're going to let's talk about, we got The Boys season 4, House of the Dragon, but I have to talk about this movie. I have to talk about it. And also, I'll be right back. So please entertain people.
What? So I'm looking for a poster and you're going
Look for a poster.
Yeah, but you're saying you'll be right back. What, I'm supposed to look for a poster and
What are you
hey,
talking
Alan
about?
and Robert, happy birthday. What shocked to hear about what happened to you and your stuff in Las Vegas. I was one of the pervs in the bar. Oh, I remember that. Who bought the celebrity poop book. Want to pay again for it here. Some more for Alan's new PC.
Thank you so much. Well, you're lucky you got one because they were all stolen. So, including the money from that night, which was stupidly left in the car. So,
Yeah.
but I appreciate it.
But if someone had told me there was large sums of
did
cash in my
tell
car,
you in a text.
you didn't tell
we
me.
had that discussion.
You didn't tell me. You want to have this conversation again?
No, let's not.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Did you find the poster?
I did. I'm trying to download it, but
Yay!
Again, my internet.
Yay! Do you like my new avatar? It's a claymation version of me.
Yeah, how did you get that? Yeah, so let me just say probably the gayest thing about me is I love musicals.
You like musicals?
I love musicals.
Great. Okay. This is going to be one of the most unusual reviews you have ever heard, not just on Film Threat, on YouTube. Because I'm telling you now, The Coffee Table is on my list for one of the best indie films of the year. Now, before you do anything, do not watch the trailer for this movie. Do not look up the description of the story for this movie. I will only tell you that this is about a coffee table. It is a Spanish film, so subtitles. It's 90 minutes. It is so riveting, and I cannot tell you what happens. If I tell you what happens in this movie, it will ruin the entire movie. So I watched this film, and by the way, it was recommended to me, and the person gave me the same speech. Basically said, don't look it up, don't watch the trailer, just watch the film. Alan will be seeing the movie, so we can talk about it next week, because he hasn't seen it. But I am telling you now, from the opening minutes to when you realize what this movie is really about, it is the most riveting, incredible, and it shows you what you can do with a small cast. It's a small cast of characters, just a couple people. It shows you what good writing, great storytelling, tension, drama. I cannot say anything about the film that would not ruin it. I know, this is weird. It's weird to hear a review like this, but you need to see this movie without knowing anything, including what it's really about. It is about a coffee table. Yes. And I will say, I do admire, because there's an opening scene. You see a man and his wife, and they're at a furniture store, and they're trying to buy a coffee table. This guy wants this coffee table. There's a salesman. He might be a little shady, and he goes through the whole process of talking about the table. And there's these golden naked women that are holding the bottom of the table up. He admires it, like, I want this coffee table. This coffee table, it's beautiful. The salesman is selling him on, you gotta get this coffee table. That's the opening of the movie. I will tell you nothing else except that you must see the coffee table. Alan,
I think you're overselling it.
You've done this to me before. You've done this to me before. I'm not overselling it. I am not overselling it.
I feel like you're pumping it too much. I saw this with the leg lamp in A Christmas Story.
No, that's not it. I'm just saying I would ruin it if I told you the story. I am not going to. If you trust me, like, did you trust me when I said, hey, you should see the movie RRR? Did you trust me?
Yes, I did.
Well, this isn't RRR. It's very different. But if you are curious, you can rent. It's on VOD. Rent it, buy it, but see it. That's all I'm going to say. To tell you the story would ruin it. Just trust me. Next week, you're going to watch it, right?
Yes. I'll watch it this weekend.
Okay. Watch it
for Father's Day. How about that? I'll do it
for Father's Day. Watch it. It's a great Father's Day viewing. Watch The Coffee Table next week. I want to see your face after you've seen the movie.
Okay.
Let's go here. Comments.
From Stephen Ross for $9.99. Thank you for that. No message there, but appreciate the support.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Torviticus, I'm sold on that poster alone. Great job there. It is translated though. It is subtitled, right?
Yes, subtitled.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay. Oracle Techno. Alan loves refrigerator. Did you have that one queued up? Did you have it queued? No. From Bill S. Preston Esquire. The first rule of Coffee Table is we don't talk about the coffee table.
It's I don't want to say anything.
All right.
I don't want to say anything. I just want to talk. I'll talk to you after you've seen it.
Okay.
I recommended it to Paulie from Latino Slant. I recommend things that are Spanish to him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he says I'm more Latino than he is. So, yeah.
All right. Stephen Ross for $9.99. Star Wars is dead. Long live Star Crash. Luigi Cozzi has written a new Star Crash adjacent screenplay, The Midas Star, with Luna Diamond. Illustrated book is available at Women's Books or Romans and online. I swear that looks like Women's Books.
It's okay, man. Thank you for that, Stephen. Thank you.
Mo Slizak for $19.99. You didn't tell Alan, Chris. Also, yeah, you didn't tell me, Chris. Also, good to see someone made Kramer's coffee table book into a movie.
Well, it's not that, but I don't want to say anything. It would ruin it. So there you go. A couple more things to review. Let's switch to TV. TV. We have House of the Dragon. Wait, what is this?
Let's get this show started. There's a video here I gotta play that I can't find.
Let's get this show started. And there used to be a video here, and I'm going nuts. And let's. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do this. Let's get the show. Let's get things started as I look for the opening intro. Here we go.
That's our new intro.
I know.
That's our new intro, man.
Professionalism at its finest.
Yeah, yeah. So House of the Dragon season 2 is here. Much anticipated. I have seen the first 2 episodes. Alan, you saw the first episode. Let's talk about the first episode. No spoilers. I'll say this. I'm going to cut to the chase. It picks up right after the events of the season finale for season 1, which was we dramatically saw a death in the episode. And this is a son for a son. What do you think's going to happen in the first episode?
Someone's
Alan?
gonna die.
A sun may die. The sun may set, and that is the machinations involved in the first episode. I'll say this, just overall, because I don't want to talk story specifics. If you want that, to me, I have to recommend Nerdrotic is the best person on commentary. I can't always keep track of the characters. I forget some of the names, but I know, like, oh, Matt Smith is great. I like him, and she's good. And there's that other guy, but I'm not that bad. But I'll just say it was kind of disappointing. I expected something big in the first episode. It was slow moving, which I'm okay with, and it wasn't bad. Just to be clear, it was not a bad episode. I expected the payback to be on a scale of Red Wedding. It wasn't even a tenth of that. It wasn't bad, like I say, but this is Game of Thrones. People don't just die. They die horribly, horrific, like ironic, or like, oh my God, they were in love and now they're impaled on a stick. Like, it wasn't like that. I was ultimately, to be fair, I was kind of disappointed. I think, and I've seen the second episode too, and it's like, I feel like they're just resetting the stage for a buildup for something really bad later in the season. I thought it was slow and just okay. I expected more, something of a disappointment. It wasn't, to be clear, it's not bad. It's like episodes of Game of Thrones sometimes are about story. Like, we get into the character drama, and there's not a lot of drama, or not a lot of death and destruction.
Maybe
there are some.
Maybe it's like because there's so much energy at the end of the first season, so much tension and buildup, and then now that we start with the second season, it just kind of resets the energy.
Right,
it just needs to build itself up again.
That's
I think
what it
that's
did.
the feeling you might be having.
Yeah, same. What did you think of episode 1?
Yeah, so I went cold into episode 1, which meant I forgot who everyone was, and so
that was me too.
Yeah, a lot of episode 1 was, okay, who's this and what side are they on? And I think maybe that was the benefit of a slow episode 1 was, okay, I'm getting my orientation back. I'm kind of like, maybe I should have watched the whole first season before getting into season 2, which might be a good idea.
Same here. I really felt a little lost. I should have rewatched season 1. It's okay, but all you need to know is the blacks versus the greens. The high towers.
Yeah, we don't need to get racist here. The other thing is, so that the first episode is just kind of the where is everybody at?
Right.
And, it's like resetting the chess pieces, and then you get to the end of that first episode, and it's like, okay, this is what I remember House of the Dragon being with the ending of that first episode. But yeah, I was like getting worried because that first 45 minutes were okay. Where who is that? What was their motivations? And there's a lot of talking. And then
you either need a rewatch of season 1, or at least one of those YouTube videos that's like here's what you need to know. And
you really need a recap video before going into it. And I don't think they set it up well with the one we got.
Yeah.
So I'm look, it's probably the best television out there right now. So I'm still in, definitely still in.
No, I'm still in. Like, look, it's okay. It's a slow burn, a slow build. There's a death. It's not hard to figure out, but it's the consequence. This is mostly dealing with the dramatic consequences of season 1. So a lot of it is, well, there's one thing like Aemon Targaryen that's the Is it Eamon?
You're
I'm
asking
so
me.
lost.
You're asking me. Is it a chubby white-haired guy or is it Matt Smith?
Yeah, exactly. There is what I did like is there's a black character whose name is Alan.
Yep. That's right.
Did you notice that?
I did notice that.
Did you feel represented?
Like me, handsome, and it's strapping.
Anyways, there is a son that is killed. I'll leave it.
What?
Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
No surprise. And somehow a rat catcher is involved. And what Eamon does is kills all the rat catchers to get revenge. And thinking, why did you just do that? You just alienated the families. They have sons and daughters. You can't kill every rat catcher in the city just because one was responsible for these terrible actions. So it's really everyone making bad choices. I will say this: Olivia Cook as Allison Hightower. There's some sex scenes, pretty good. Pretty
But
good.
I wish she would make the same sacrifices that Lena Dunham made.
Yes. I'm not a hot phobe at all, but I will say it's just a reset episode. A lot of what's happening is we're trying to get these people on our side. The one thing that I thought was interesting was you see the Stark family going to the wall. I don't know how the wall plays in, but you meet young Stark going to the wall. So that's a big it's just a lot of the first two episodes is setup. So I'm confused. I'm not.
By the way, Joseph, thank you. Eamon is the eye patch dude.
Yeah, Eamon. Yeah. Sorry about that. The eye patch dude. But I'll just say I'm gonna watch the whole season. I'm just saying the first two episodes pretty much resetting the table, and it was good. And I'm still in. You, Alan?
Yeah, no, definitely in. And now that you spoiled the second episode for me, I know what's happening.
You'll see. It's
I know.
There's a lot. It's just a lot of.
A lot of people die in the second episode.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's go to comments here.
Yes, from William Summers for $2. I expected something big, said my wife. Yeah, unfortunately,
there you go.
She
Thank
married
you for
an
that.
Asian. So, all right, sun's in shadow, and the sky is blue, Alan. Yeah. He also says, you put that expectation in your head, Chris, not the show. They didn't ever say, oh my God, Red Wedding 2.0.
I just thought there would be something big, and there wasn't.
I'll just say there are some people who are previewing the season, and I felt like from what they were saying that the first episode would be big.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Watch Nerdrotic on Sunday. That's the best coverage of House of the Dragon.
Okay.
Well, what we'll probably do is I don't know that we'll cover this week to week. We'll cover the full season when it's all out, which is 8 episodes. So.
Yeah. Or we'll probably cover it on Wednesday. I think we do our episodics on Wednesday. Usually.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. From you Mazer Chris wanted medieval bad boys. That would be cool. SP of the North, Reservoir Dragons. Go Party Time, Team Black. Right.
Yeah, I'm Team Black.
And you'll never go back. Cass again, Chris, no spoilers. Spoilers, Gore.
It wasn't. Look, the title of the episode ruins the big thing in episode 1. A son for a son.
You spoiled episode 2 for me now.
It's not that bad.
All right. Razorbrain, remember for 6 months. Thank you. All the dragon talk reminds me of that Bugs Bunny cartoon when Yosemite Sam was a knight and rode a dragon. You stupid dragon.
Well, there you go. All right. Let's see. A couple more things to talk about here. Alan, let's get the next poster.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't you love our
That one?
live streams?
That one?
Woo! See how the sausage is made.
And we're looking for the video to start the show.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. I like to narrate when I produce the show by myself.
Let's fucking go.
Come on. Let's do this. I'll say this. The Boys season 4 did not disappoint. The first 3 episodes, and I'll say a couple things. One, Eric Kripke has made comments that make it kind of annoying to watch the show. I mean, The Boys picks up obviously where last season ended. You've got The Boys now. You find out the Butcher is dying. He's got maybe 6 months to live. He's trying to pull his son to the good side, so to speak. He's the good father. Homelander is the bad father, and they're trying to set up Homelander's son as like a lad. Like they even introduced like an outfit where they're going to turn him into a hero called Homeboy, which is funny. I'll say this: while I watched House of the Dragon, I was like, oh, this is kind of slow, setting stuff up. The Boys just goes for it. They introduce a character called Splinter that can split into many different people. And they go to this, there's a character named Firecracker at this thing called TruthCon, which is like a conspiracy theory convention. And there's a fight with Splinter and Firecracker that's hilarious. I mean, I will say, it politically takes shots at the left and the right, but it's like 20% left, 80% right. It's not balanced. But still, when they make fun of things, they make fun of Hollywood and the entertainment business a lot. And I like that. So I, for one, I'm at least into it where I'll finish the season because it's so gross. They do this thing where they're going to try to introduce Homeboy. It's a fake, like, robbery, whatever. He shows up and then accidentally kills the guy he's supposed to take down. It's gruesome, horrifying. There's sex. There's violence. I will say it's a very much an ensemble show now. I mean, Huey is very much a background character. He's now like, he's barely in the first episode. And another thing I found weird was the character of Starlight, Erin Moriarty. She doesn't go by Starlight anymore. She's Annie January. It's very obvious she had plastic surgery. She looks different. Her lips and her nose look weird. She does not look, and they've got like big banners with her face. She doesn't even look like her old self. She's now goes by, I don't go by Starlight. I'm Annie January. She looks strange. I'm sorry. Yeah. Kimiko Miyashiro is awesome. I love her character. And somehow Frenchie is gay out of nowhere. I don't know why they did that. So there's like things that annoy me, but then things that are so funny and gross and over the top. I love it. So I'm still in. I'm in for the ride, even though it's sort of politically unbalanced. I'm still all about it. Alan, what'd you think?
I didn't see it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Oh,
no, I think
it's all right. Yeah. It's all right. I really enjoyed it. Every episode. There's a thing at the end. They're doing like the 7 on ice. So it's like Vought on ice. And they're doing a thing that's like very like, you can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. They lean into that and things go awry. Ice skates are used as unfortunate tools for people's demise. That's all. So I like the bloody over the top nature. I like poking fun at entertainment, poking fun at all political sides of the spectrum. And I'll keep watching. I don't know. Some have been turned off by the politics. Doesn't bother me. I think
the politics bothers me a little more than you. Definitely.
But
Homelander's Trump. That's what I'm saying. Homelander's Trump.
I'll say this. Well, look, I recommend it. I'm going to keep watching it just because they delivered on the gore, violence, the satire, and nudity, which is what House of the Dragon needs more of.
Yeah.
Who dies in The Boys, Chris? No major characters yet.
All right. Peter Rossi, The Boys Band. Lance, good thrust for 2. Thank you. Can we get rid of the pun jokes, please? All right. Was that for us or was that Spidey Sensei? Spidey Sensei 72. Frenchie was always bi in the series, Chris.
Yeah, they really lean hard into it though. This, I don't want to say. Maybe I didn't notice it. Whatever. That's yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then from Bootzilla, Alan doesn't have time for this boys nonsense. Yeah, I mean, I feel that way sometimes. It's like, I watch it for this, but it's like, you kind of wish if you're gonna hit politics, you kind of wish things were a little more balanced. It's not balanced. They definitely they hit hard on the right and they hit very light on the left.
But they at least hit on the left. I mean,
yeah. Well, yeah, that's tokenism. Well, at least we told a left joke.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. One last thing today. One last thing. When I was a kid, I saw a movie that blew my mind. It was called The Fantastic Animation Celebration. Well, guess what? It's online. I saw this as a kid. It's the entire thing. It's a collection of short animated films, and it's amazing. So I'm not gonna show you much of it, but this introduced Will Vinton. There's a short film that won an Oscar called Closed Mondays. This is so incredible. Link is in the description. Watch this movie. It's awesome. It's clay animation. It's crazy Will Vinton stuff. It's just stuff that's weird. I'm scrubbing through it right now. It's just, I love collections like Spike and Mike. This was pre-Spike and Mike. There's great music. I don't want to play too much of this. There's a Superman cartoon that is awesome. I can't tell you too much about it, but I'll just say I can't believe it's online. So please go check it out. Obviously on YouTube for free. You're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. But the Will Vinton thing that's Closed Mondays won an Oscar. Here it is. It's so amazing. And this thing blew my mind as a kid. I can't believe I saw it by myself in a theater, but just a little friendly recommend that I saw it, and please see it. There you go. That and The Coffee Table are my 2 recommends. So there you go. Closed Mondays. This will blow you. When I was a kid, I saw this I'm 11 years old in the theater going, oh my God. And it made me want to make movies. And I ended up making my own clay animated films as a kid. Maybe I'll show you some. But check it out. There you go. That's it. All right. Alan, what do you got?
What I got? I'll be in San Diego tomorrow at 7:30 at the National Comedy Theater. The other thing is Juneteenth is coming up. We talked about Sound of Hope, Possum Trot. Origin is on Hulu now. And if you want to see a movie, it's from Ava DuVernay, so please don't get on me for that. But if you want an interesting discussion about racism in the world, racism in America, Origin, we talked about it. Origin is an amazing film just because it brings a whole new perspective on why racism exists. And it's definitely worth watching and having a discussion about it. Whether you agree with it or not, the discussion is worth having. And so I would recommend Origin on Hulu. And Disney
Awesome.
Plus. Yeah.
There you go. So, all right. That's it. I got to say thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth, Paulie at Latino Slant, Mexican Iron Man, and of course, Atomic Lori working hard in the background, and Glenn Nuccio, our producer. Last minute super chat came in here
from Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 5. Frank, you should get Ryan Kindle to cosplay as Force Thread Ghost Torben to give his Star Wars eulogy.
Oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're
Ryan
gonna do
as Torben.
Okay, a couple things. I'm on FNT in like 2 hours.
Yeah,
I'm
I
on
thought you were.
I'm on FNT. So but we are getting someone to do a rendition of Oh Danny Boy, but it's gonna be Oh Hanny Boy, like Han Solo.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This Star Wars funeral on Wednesday, July 17th will be epic. Epic. And thanks, Bruce Leroy Jenkins. That's great. Always appreciate you. I am going to be at Universal Studios. My daughter and I are going there for Father's Day.
Oh.
Hopefully my son can join me as well. He may or may not be able to, but I'm spending Father's Day at Universal Studios. Thanks to my friend Jade. Appreciate you. And then I'm going to tonight, I'm going to see the movie Thelma with my buddy Alex. I'm going to the premiere. I'll film the Q&A. So there you go. Yeah, FNT is going to be great. It's all episode 3 of The Acolyte. So
4 hours of episode 3.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. There we go.
And then, do we announce Comic-Con or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're doing a panel at San Diego Comic-Con that Saturday.
Saturday night.
The panel. We'll tell you more about it. But Alan and I will both be at San Diego. We're on other panels, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I'm doing one other panel. Dante will be there. You will be there.
Yes.
Well, we don't have details yet. Just setting it up. But there you
I
go.
believe there might be a meetup put on by someone else.
We'll do a meetup. We will do a meetup in San Diego during Comic-Con. Dude, I got to get more coffee. I'm exhausted. Yeah.
All right.
I got to be ready in 2 hours.
Yeah, good luck. Let's see how long you last.
All right, Alan. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.